We back.
What's up, y'all?
Episode 8. In the house.
It's 8, nigga.
Got my man, 50 grand, Big Ma.
What up, y'all? Happy to be back again.
Yes, sir.
Number 8 episode.
Number 8.
Damn.
I mean, we've been doing this 2 months in a row.
It don't even feel like it.
It don't even feel like it.
But it's all right, goddammit.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
I'm your man, Tez.
It's my boy.
So,
Yeah.
coronavirus still running rampant.
It's running like it's mad at somebody. Ain't
Man, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't escape it. We can't escape this conversation. I would like to talk about other things, but Corona has consumed our minds.
Yeah.
So we gotta talk about it. They said something around like over 18,000 people have passed. I think a baby here in Illinois just passed. It's wild out here, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they got their conspiracy theories about it,
Yeah. And rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I can definitely say this. We've seen other diseases. It seems like every year there's a new disease.
Yeah.
It was SARS. It was the Ebola, bird flu, pig flu. Shit flu.
Yeah,
It was like all these flus.
Shit, yeah.
And now this is the one that actually shuts the whole entire world down.
Yeah.
What you think about it?
Man, it's crazy. I mean, I'm like everybody else. You don't know what to say, where to go, what to do, what not to do. There are no answers. And it's crazy because normally something's happening. Okay, we can escape. We could go wherever. Mm-hmm. Jamaica, London, somewhere where you can kind of run and kind of get your thoughts together. This is worldwide. Unless you're going off the planet.
Now, did you hear that the United States has the most cases now?
Ain't that ironic?
Now, it started in Wuhan, China.
Yeah.
But it done traveled all these miles.
Yeah.
To now the United States has the most cases.
Yeah.
Now, in my mind, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I want to say this. But in my mind, and I want to give a shout out to my man Mike Money because he put this on my mind. He said that, how when you go to certain countries, you got to get vaccinated?
Yeah.
We got to get vaccinated before we even leave the country.
Yeah.
So he said that might be the prevailing thought for other countries around the world. But people in the United States can't come here unless y'all get vaccinated before you come here now. Mm-hmm. Because we don't want y'all bringing the coronavirus to our country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, what's that in Nigeria? What's that? They're mosquitoes. If you get bit by a mosquito, they're malaria.
Yeah.
So if you get by a mosquito and malaria, you have to get a vaccination here before you go there.
Yeah.
Just in case, because we ain't used to that type of environment.
Yeah.
So if you live in Nigeria, you get bit by a mosquito, you all right because you used to that.
Yeah.
But if you from here and you ain't used to that kind of mosquito, you get bit by that boy will attack your immune system and you out of here.
Do some damage, yeah.
Just like, what was that thing that was a couple years ago and the mosquito was biting people and they was having babies and the head came out all small and everything. I forget the name of it. It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
I can't think of what that is.
That was crazy. Like, these women were having babies and the babies' bodies was normal, but the head was super small.
Wow.
I'm like, what kind of shit is this?
Wow.
And you can tell this shit ain't normal, man. We ain't seen this shit in all our years, and it's the first time this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like it's some manufactured shit.
Yeah.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I gotta put that out there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
But I mean, again, what do you say? Again, it make you speechless.
Yeah,
You're speechless. And it's like, again, it's crazy to me to think about it. There's nowhere you could go.
Nowhere.
You got to just stay where you are. Hopefully you're staying out of the way because you don't know what it look like, smell, act like, sound like, none of this. So nobody knows. Everybody's, freeze frame.
Yeah.
Just stop where you are.
Yeah.
And some people aren't fortunate enough to be working. Your jobs have shut down. Some people are lucky enough to work from home. But
Yeah.
man, this is new. And I don't think you necessarily have to be a conspiracy theorist to have your way of thinking, because every year like Tez just said, every year we got a new disease.
Every year it's a new disease.
I don't know what this means, but I mean, you think that we'll be a little bit more equipped to deal with something that pops up?
Yeah.
And you know, ain't no all-star team of scientists that can come together and in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you know, you got whatever happened, we got an answer for it. Maybe it'll take us 3 weeks, but how does it take maybe a year till you can hopefully come up with an answer?
I mean, they talking about things being shut down for another month.
Easily, yeah.
How many people can survive for another month like this? You know, so it's crazy. Then, you know, I heard what's her name, Cardi B. She said that the actors who are saying that they have it, that they've been paid to say they have it.
I didn't hear that. Did she really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was like,
why would they?
Why would you do that? You know, so Idris Elba said, I wouldn't play around like that, because you know he came out saying
I remember him saying he had it.
So if I don't agree with that theory that actors are being paid to say they have it. There was once a theory that said black people can't catch the coronavirus because our melanin will protect us. And I'm saying to myself, have you heard of HIV? That is a damn virus. People, I know you want to come up with your own theories, and you entitled to come up with them. Trust me. Some of y'all may not trust the government. I totally understand.
Yeah.
So you may think this is biological warfare. I totally understand. I get it. However, it is something going on out here.
Yeah.
Definitely. And even though, and this is something you talked about off camera on the phone, and we could probably jump into this now. We're going to be kind of controversial in this conversation. We're going to talk about religion. We're going to talk about spirituality, religion versus spirituality, and how we've been fooled into a lot of the foolery that we participate in. You want to kick it off?
Well, I mean, just your question. I guess we kind of started talking about that because of the way things are taught in America, from how you taught the Bible, what you taught in school, how you really operate and function on the planet. Me, I still find it hard to wrap my mind around the fact that we're the #1 country and we just seem to be so.
We ain't #1 in education though.
No.
But we are #1 in believing in angels.
We #1 in believing in bullshit. And we laughing, but it's sad. I mean, because they can sell us anything. And we're not talking about this coronavirus. We just talking about some of the stuff that we're taught to believe.
Yeah.
And when you're the type of person who decide to try to think outside the box, you get crucified.
Yes.
You know, because you're smart enough to do the math and stuff. You know, I always say this, everything has an answer. Everything has an answer. But how come a lot of times when we apply some of the things that we're taught, nobody gets an answer? And you don't even second guess the fact that, damn, I don't get an answer. Then you got to go to somebody else as an adult for a goddamn answer that you should have had, with 12 years of schooling? That's if you didn't go to college.
Okay, so let me set this up for y'all, how this conversation came about, right? So me and Marv was on the phone, and we was talking about how the preachers were still saying, you still gotta send them tithes in, because you know, the church still gotta go on. Even though ain't nobody going to church right now, the church still gotta go on. Now, I understand church is a business. It's a non-for-profit business. And there's a separation between church and state, according to the Constitution, right? Now, let me just put this out here. I am not a Christian by no stretch of the imagination. None. I don't go to church. If people invite me to church, I will go because it's out of respect. But I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian man. I jumped out of that boat a long time ago and just started to swim on my own. So,
But wait, but what made you do that?
it was just questions that wasn't being answered.
Again, everything has an answer, nigga.
It was some questions that I had that were not being answered.
Yeah.
I remember I asked the question. I remember the first time I picked up the Bible for myself. But let me go back. So the preachers are still asking for tithes,
Yeah.
even though church is closed.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is some pimp shit. And I'm just gonna be honest. I think it's some pimp shit because yes, the church is supposed to be the edifice of worship for those of the Christian faith, and I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is that that's his responsibility more than anybody's. He's supposed to make sure that you have a kitty to take care of the bills just in case we're in a situation like this. One of the first rules of economics is when things are down, you spend more. When things are up, or when I say things are low, you spend more. When things are up, you spend less. Because you know the cycle is going to come back around when things get bad again, right? So, and I heard it's been about 3 or 4 of these preachers talking about still sending them tithes, right?
Yeah.
Been about 3 or 4 of them.
It's on the internet.
So, why should I have to pay if I ain't even going to work? And according to the Bible, tithing was when Abraham gave Melchizedek, not God. He gave Melchizedek 10% of what he had. Melchizedek is not God, according to the Bible. Now, he is born without a father and a mother, but he ain't God. He ain't Jesus. And if you want to do some research, you can find that Jesus was in the order of Melchizedek, but we ain't talking about that right now, okay? So, I don't know where this 10%, why this still has to be paid.
You're talking about right now.
Right now.
Right.
Especially in the environment we in with the coronavirus, people not going to work. You can't even go to church, but you might be able to watch it online.
Yeah.
But it ain't the same effect.
Yeah.
Because all the energy ain't next to each other, you know, and it's bouncing, you know, it's jumping and jumping and jumping. Then someone catch the Holy Ghost, and then that's when you feel like, all right, I'm supposed to pay now, you know. But I'm getting, the point is, it's pimping. I'm just gonna be honest with you, church. And not all y'all. There's some good preachers out here, but a lot of these preachers is pimps. Let's just be honest, they pimps. And to ask people who have less now than they did before to continue to contribute to basically their pockets is bogus to me.
Almost criminal. Huh?
It's very criminal.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Yeah, it's some mess in the game. You know, go back to what I was just saying before you started talking, how we're taught to believe what some of the stuff we believe, and again, I think everything has an answer. I think it is almost criminal for you to ask people to continue to send tithes when people have been laid off. Some people who are working that I'm aware of that are still working, their salaries have been cut. 25-50% of their salaries have been cut. So everybody don't know what's going to happen next, so you're just trying to hold on to what you got because you don't know what you're going to have to spend. Again, going back to what Tez just said about the pastors asking for you to still send tithes in. Even if you was asking for tithes, can you be a little bit more transparent with what you're going to do with the tithes? I saw on the internet a team of 4 pastors. I ain't got to say their name. If you Google them, you'll probably pop up. Even when you're doing it, and I didn't listen to the whole service, so maybe they said it, but I don't think they did, but maybe they did. When you're asking for these particular tithes that you're asking for today, what's your plan for using the tithes? What are you going to do with the tithes? And I'm asking because, like what Tez just said, as a pastor, Everybody paying tithes. Don't they get tax breaks?
You get tax breaks.
Okay, what you doing with the tithes that people then gave you, man? And are you in need of tithes for what's coming, or just for stacking on more? Because it doesn't make sense for you to be asking for people to send you money when people are afraid. Some people are sick. Some people laid off. Some people, you in survival mode.
In survival mode, yes.
So, I mean, how do you make sense of that? To me, that's kind of, I shake my head to that, because it's just a real bad time to be asking for tithes.
It's selfish. And I know, I do believe in, giving to receive. I do believe that. But I also believe that in times that we are, because we're in a time of, of where things are restricted a little bit more, people still got bills to pay, man. People got other priorities right now. And that's not my priority, that's yours. Now we gonna bounce around in this conversation, because this is, I guess, it's pimpish to me. It's on the pimp side of the game, and the reason why I'm saying that is because, and I'm gonna say this, and this is not popular. When you're a Christian, it's nothing that's required of you. You don't have to do no work, man. None. You ain't gotta do shit. All you gotta do is believe. Now that's not bad. But when I look at the condition of people who just believe and ain't doing no work, man, they suffering.
So you just said without saying it. There's a part B to what you're being taught that ain't being
man.
taught. Whew. And to justify what you just said, people, you see what you see out here, and some of you that go to church and you apply what you've been taught, you see the answers that you've been receiving from the way you're being taught.
Exactly.
And again, everything has an answer. So when you apply what you're being taught and there's no answer, you're not going to raise your hand and ask the question to the Creator? Because I'm like Tez, I'm a believer. I believe in a higher power.
I believe in a higher power.
But some of the ways that we're being taught, I gotta put that question mark up.
Absolutely.
Like, hey man, I mean, where's the part B? There's the part missing to me.
Absolutely.
And like you said, nowadays, at least over the last month and a half, and you don't know how longer it's gonna last. People are kind of in panic mode, survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just trying to hold on to money to try to help family members or friends if needed. Hopefully, it doesn't get that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you're asking for my tithes, okay, what's your plan for using my tithes? What do you need it for?
I mean, are you doing something for the community?
Right.
I mean, it's in the black community, you got endless amount of churches on every corner. I mean, how do all y'all believe in Jesus and Jesus is separated like this? I don't understand that shit, man.
It ain't one squad.
It ain't no one squad. Everybody out for themselves, man. This shit don't make sense, and I gotta put it out there because it don't make sense. If we all believe in this entity, this being that we say is Jesus, who's supposed to be the savior of humanity, well, didn't Jesus come here and do work?
Yeah.
Didn't he say, and according to the scriptures, you will do greater works than me?
Yeah.
All I see is lazy people. They ain't doing shit. But you believe. He said he worked, right? To the point where he got strung up, right?
Yeah.
Then he said, you'll do greater works. Meaning you'll take better actions than I took. But I don't see the better action. It's sad, man, because I think people just been lied to. Look, the God you looking for is inside of you. It ain't in no edifice. This is the edifice. You scared of looking for you. You scared of you.
You think everybody's scared because of the way they're taught?
The way they taught and the responsibility that's attached to it.
Listen, some of us are, according to the Bible that a lot of people study from the King James Version, I was told, and I read up, that King James had that Bible written for his people in his area that he ruled for control.
Exactly.
I just find it ironic that we still use the Bible from back in the day that was really rewritten or kind of tampered with a little bit for control purposes.
For control purposes.
And it goes back to what you just said as far as when people apply what they've been taught, it seems like they're being played. Again, y'all, everything has an answer. Everything has an answer. If you run your ass out in the street when there's congestion out here with traffic coming home rush hour, you probably gonna get ran the fuck over.
Get ran over. You know why? Because it's a cause and effect to that shit.
That's the answer to
it's a cause and effect to it.
Everything got an answer. So again, I know some people may find what you say to be, I don't appreciate it.
You ain't gotta appreciate it.
But we ain't talking. Well, again, we ain't talking about your emotions. You okay? You do the math on yourself. How do you apply what you've been taught and what answers did you receive, so you could apply to your life to better your life?
You ain't gotta hear me, but you need to listen. It's the truth. Look, we've been scared of ourselves because we've been told that this entity is outside of us. I don't use the word God. I just don't. Why? Because that's the latest word to describe what we call the creator or whatever it is that it is. I don't use that word, right? Because English is the latest language on planet Earth, right? So just like I was telling you this the other day, right? So I went to Egypt, right? In Egypt, I ran into some Coptic Christians, right? Now, that was a very interesting experience because they didn't practice Christianity the way Christians practice Christianity here, right?
I wonder why.
So, I come back and I have an uncle who's a pastor. I said, hey, Unc. I said, man, you ever heard of the Coptics? And he said, nah. I said, they're Christians. They're a sect of Christians that's over there in Egypt. He was like, oh, okay. I said, you know what they call God? He said, what? I said, they call God Allah. He said, what? His face, he couldn't even believe that shit. How can some Christians call God Allah? So I said, you know what they call Jesus? He said, what? I said, they call him Isa. He said, well, they ain't Christians then. I said, they not Christians. I'm like, they told me they Christians. He said, no, they ain't Christians.
Well, why he said it wasn't Christian?
You know why he said it? You know why he said they weren't Christian?
Why?
Because they don't speak English.
Did that.
Because they don't speak English. They not Christians. So they can't speak their mother tongue,
Right.
which is Arabic, and say Allah and Isa, which is the equivalent or the transliterated version of God and Jesus. They can't speak their tongue and say that and be Christians.
Which tongue is older?
I think Arabic is a whole lot older than English. A whole lot older.
Yeah.
So, and I want to say this, I'm not with, I don't practice none of the Semitic religions, which is Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. I don't practice that. I don't have nothing against them though. I think Islam is a beautiful religion. It just got some less than beautiful people inside of it.
Sort of like Christianity.
So Christians and Judaism.
Yeah.
But I just felt that was asinine for him to say that they're not Christians because they don't speak his language, like quote unquote God only know English.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. The creator of all only know one language.
Yeah. So God can't speak to you. You got people that speak Spanish and English, but God can't speak.
This is nuts, people.
Yeah.
These conversations are nuts. And I'm with anyone who is into anything that makes you a better human being. I promise you I am. But since we're having this conversation about these nutting ass preachers still asking for tithes, and Marv had to go run away real quick, he come right back. These nutting ass preachers are asking for tithes. And this is a shame that they're asking you to tithe in the conditions of which we live in the present time. We cannot allow people to get away with the bullshit consistently. You just can't. At some point in time, we have to stop and look at ourselves and become responsible enough to say, you know what, this ain't really helping me. And I'm not saying the Christian religion doesn't help people. I'm not saying no religion doesn't help people. All I'm saying is that in times of immediate, where things are taking a different direction from where they normally go, You have to start using your brain at some point. You got to. You got to start using your brain at some point to question what their motives. What was that dude? I think we might have talked about this when we first started the podcast. He a preacher here in Chicago, and he got all these contracts to like feed children and all this shit. And this motherfucker went out and bought a fucking Bentley with the money. Now he's God inspired.
But then you say he took him to Bentley dealer?
No, that's somebody else.
That's somebody else?
Somebody
Okay.
else. That's
Okay.
somebody else. But he's God inspired to the point that he would steal money to go buy a damn Bentley when children need to eat. Come on, man. Really? And you got people who'll be like, well, that's my pastor.
Yeah.
That's my pastor.
Yeah. I've encountered some of those people where they defend everything about their pastor. And it's unfortunate, y'all. But yeah, it's got to get better. I know we said that before about some other situations, but this is another.
Didn't the Creator give us brains?
Yeah.
What happened when we, after 7, when we just stopped thinking, man? What happened? What happened?
I think you touched on it. You said we get lazy.
We get lazy.
And then we just start following with somebody who can impress you emotionally because he sounds good.
He sound damn.
He has a good vocabulary.
He makes me feel good.
His
I get filled up.
vocabulary.
I get filled up with the rush of the Lord when I hear him. And I'm gonna tell you what that is, because you don't know. So let me tell you what it is. There is a word called enthusiasm. Enthusiasm means to awaken God. Look up the Greek version of it. Go to the etymology. It means to awaken God. So that means in order to awaken God, God must be asleep. Come on, man.
Are you talking about the guys on earth?
The God in you is sleep. So when you hear something that makes you feel good, enthusiasm, you've just awakened your natural self. The problem is we scared to accept the responsibility. Jesus said, I didn't come here for everyone. I came here for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Is that not what's written?
That's what's written.
When he said, our Father who art in heaven, where is heaven at, people? It's not in the sky. Heaven is in your thoughts. He said that the 12 the 12 houses, it's the mansions, the 12 mansions or something like that. That's the astrology. You got 12 signs. He said he fed people with 5 fish and a loaf of bread, or 5 loaves of bread and something like that, right?
He fed it with not enough.
Okay, so the loaf of bread represents Virgo. Opposite of Virgo is fish, Pisces. Isn't the sign of Christianity the fish? We dealing with astrology, people. That's what we dealing with. You the Jesus that you looking for. You your own savior. I hear so many people say, I'm just going to leave it to God. How? God waiting on you. God looking at you like,
Come on, man.
come on, Joe. Why y'all put all this responsibility on me? And I gave you all the tools.
Yeah.
I gave you all the tools you need.
And you refuse to use
And you refuse to use, and then you keep playing to me about what you need.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you everything. I gave you a brain. I gave you some hands. I gave you teeth. I gave you arms. I gave you a chest. I gave you limbs.
But
Use them.
But he gave you knowledge. I shared this example with somebody that I know who's a believer, just as I am. I said, what do you think would happen if all of us just held hands and prayed for about the next 2 hours for God to give us some water because we was thirsty? Knowing that there's a sink in the house, bottled water in the house, how fast do you think God would get here to give us some water? They couldn't answer. I was like, he ain't coming.
It ain't gonna happen.
Because he gave you the answer and the understanding that, hey man, why don't you just go over there and turn that switch and that water gonna come, all the water. I'm not coming down there to give you niggas no water.
God calling people niggas.
Who made the vocabulary and the words?
God. There it is, right?
But you know, you can't say that.
Can't say
God
that.
don't talk like that.
Tell them about the story you told me yesterday. With the dude called the radio station.
Yeah, I'm listening to this station. A very intellectual gentleman. I'm not gonna say the station. He posed a question to one of the callers. This question to the caller, because the caller was very emotional, like a lot of people are. Because when he questioned the guy got all out of there. He just stepped way to the side of what the original question was. The gentleman who was asking the question posed the question to the caller. He said, "Isn't God the orchestrator and the starter of all of this? This is all God's plan. He designed the heavens and the earth and everything, right? So this is God's will." So with the coronavirus coming, can somebody come in and add or take away from God's plan? Talking about the coronavirus. And the guy was like, "You mean to tell me you saying God to create the coronavirus?" He said, "That ain't what I said." He said, "My question was, this is God's design, all of this. So God got all these, the languages, the universe, the stars and everything. So if this is God's creation, this is his creation. Can somebody come in and supersede or, you know, kind of alter God's plan?" And the guy was so upset he couldn't believe that the dude would pose a question to him that way. But I noticed you couldn't get a regular yes or no. He gonna throw a question back at him. He's like, "So you mean to tell me you think God is created?" He said, "I just asked you a question. Who created all of this? And then how does this work? You know, how does the devil part work and all that?" When you start doing that, people get emotional. So about 2 callers later, gentleman called up. Let me read out the Bible for that gentleman that was giving you a hard time. I want to say, I may not be exact. I think it was from the book of Isaiah, and it clearly reads, "God is the creator of good and evil." That's in the Bible. And we're bringing this part up because when you say stuff like this, just like I used the word nigga, people don't. You're not supposed to talk to God that way. Just because you're in so you mean to tell God ain't got sense of humor?
God ain't got no sense of humor.
When God's the creator of sense of humor?
And God ain't got no sense.
He ain't got no sense of
He ain't
humor.
got no sense of humor. No. God is 100% serious.
Right, because you're easily offended, so God easily offended. Just because you asked the question because you want to get an understanding. By the way, it says in the Bible, and all you're getting an understanding. Because you asked the question because you want a better understanding, which is what the gentleman did on Saturday Talk Show when he posed the question to the caller. But the caller, God created the coronavirus, Nick.
Well, how did all the viruses in the world get here? See, the human beings are under the impression that we at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
And we are not.
Yeah.
Because, as we know, in the time we live in, a virus can come and attack that ass, and it's over for us. Over. We are not at the top of the food chain. You put us up against a damn bear, it's over. One-on-one. That bear got our ass. Lion gonna tear that ass up. Tiger gonna maul our ass. We don't stand a chance without weaponry and our ability to think. But you gotta think. Yeah, you gotta do some goddamn work. I heard this one woman, she was elderly and sick, and she could barely move, and she like, "I'm just gonna leave it to God." And I'm saying to myself, do you know that you created this environment if you wasn't in an accident or you didn't have some predisposed, you know, stuff going on inside your system where, you know, you was unhealthy, you was born unhealthy. If you were born 100% healthy and you get sick, because you just don't get sick. The sickness has been forming for a while and been giving you clues. Go get me checked out. 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 And to the point where you say, you ain't listening. let me ravage your ass to get your attention. Now, she said, leave it to God. Yet, she did all these, she caused, by eating, thinking, lack of rest, whatever the situation, she caused the environment to be what it was, to the point that she could barely walk and she could barely move. But you're going to leave it to God when God gave you brains to say, you know what, I'm going to stop eating XYZ because it's not healthy no more. It ain't healthy for me not to get enough rest no more. It ain't healthy for me not to work out no more. It ain't healthy. Nah, that's not the thought process. The thought process is, I'm going to leave it to God.
But let me add this too. I go back to what I originally started saying when we started talking about the spiritual part. I don't really think people really fully focus on the fact the way you're taught stuff, whether it's your regular education or it's your spiritual side. Even if I believe in prayer, so even if you're praying and God send you an answer, He may send the answer through your whomever, your nephew, your niece, your best friend. But we want to hear something that we've been rocked to sleep on. I want to hear what the pastor say. And I'm not trying to be funny, but you don't know where your answer is going to come from when God is talking to you. But we don't understand how to tune into when the answer is arriving.
Facts.
Because of how we're taught. You're listening for a certain something because you've been taught to listen for a certain something. But pastor said, listen, man. We are human. Like I told somebody, I posed this question to a friend, a close friend. Let me ask you this. When we all die, which we will, and if we all going to be judged according to the story, we will. Is the pastor going to get judged? Is he going to be in the judgment line with us? Or do he get automatic pass into the gate? How does this happen? What's the answer? See what I'm saying?
Send them niggas to hell.
But according to the story, everybody getting judged, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the pastor going to be in line with us. And I'm not saying that to piss on the pastors. I'm just saying that.
I am.
I'm trying to get y'all the same version, but
fuck that.
But listen. Where is it in you when you how you turn on the switch where you can start receiving an answer that may not come from your pastor? We don't even know how to listen to or receive stuff that really makes sense because emotionally we're so addicted. And by the way, we talked about this once before off camera. Everything is addictive. We've been taught to pay attention to drugs and alcohol. Everything is addictive. Bad habits are addictive. Why do you think it's hard for you to stop? Why do you think it's hard for you to get your ass up off the couch when you know you need to get your ass up off the couch and go to the health club?
Addictive.
Again, man, it's amazing how we've been rocked to sleep on your schooling and your spiritual schooling to the point that when you're on the planet, you don't know how to operate. And what we do, we stand still and we keep waiting for something else to come and give us an answer.
Because we've been taught to believe in the mystical. Oh, it's a miracle. No, it's cause and effect. That's the miracle. You do this happens. Like, what was that? What's that nigga preacher, Peter Popoff, selling goddamn miracle water. And got these, now I had to catch my, because I was about to say something real derogatory. He had these people on there talking about, oh, I drunk the miracle holy water and I got an $8,000 check in the mail.
What they got to do with the water?
No,
I know, I'm just saying.
This broad trying to make me believe that you just arbitrarily got a check in the mail.
For drinking the water. For
drinking some damn water? Man, if you don't get your ass up out of here with that bullshit. Look, that damn was IRS return check or whatever that shit was, Joe. You just arbitrarily got a blank ass check for $8,000. Man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man.
What's the connection between the water and the check? Is that what you were praying for? See what I'm saying? It's always so many holes in the story. You drank the water, but you didn't say, listen, I was asked for the check because I was behind in my rent. I was drinking the water and praying, and voila, the check came. That ain't what she said.
It's bullshit either way.
Right.
It's bullshit either way.
She took 3 swigs, and all of a sudden...
And then she went downstairs and checked the mail damn check. Was there. Like, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't want to hear none of that shit. None of it. Okay? I'm being rare. Look, I'm in rare form on this one. I really am. I'm in rare form on
this one. Because
this shit bothers me that people are getting taken advantage of by some people who know how to fucking speak to your emotions.
Yep. A lot of people compare pimps to pastors.
Absolutely.
And that's not accidental.
It's not accidental.
A lot of people compare pimps to pastors. It's true. because of the wordplay. A pimp's got to be smooth to get to get a woman to give up her body, and then when she get paid for giving up her body, she gives the money to that dude who's sitting on the side just like this. Come on, baby. Sound like a what?
Sound like a preacher to me. So I wanna talk about this. So we gonna move out of the religious realm, right? To the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is totally different from the religious realm. Totally different. And I'm gonna say this: most Christians don't like to talk about spirituality because they've been taught that spirituality is evil. Let's be honest. Spirituality is evil, according to the Christian religion. Now, why do I say that? Because y'all been told that anything that's in Africa dealing with some voodoo, or what y'all call voodoo, all that type of shit is evil. That's the devil. Okay? I want somebody to tell me what Satan or Satan means. Just tell me what Satan means. You don't know? Let me tell you.
Tell him.
The word Satan comes from the Hebrew the Satan, which means adversary. Go look it up if I'm lying. Go look it up. Now, can anything be an adversary? Anything can be adverse to what we're doing. So that means anything that I'm aiming towards that poses an obstacle to me could be Satan. So, as the missionaries were spreading Christianity across the world, anything that looked opposite to Christianity was Satan to them. So, man, and this is where the Africans fucked up at. They gave up all their traditions that they had for millenniums.
Years, yeah.
Gave all that shit up and adopted Christianity, and look where the fuck they at right now.
Well, what's the newest religion on the planet?
Christianity.
Oh, okay.
But it's the biggest. You know why it's the biggest? Because you ain't got to do shit. You ain't got to do a motherfucking thing. So let's get back to spiritual.
Okay.
So now, I am a practitioner of the Yerba tradition of Isheshe, also known as Orisha, Ifa, Egbe, Egun, and Ori. So there is an Orisha is basically an angel according to their tradition of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. It's what you call angels, right? So there's an Orisha of sickness who governs sickness. And the name is Obaluaye. Obaluaye controls sickness, health, smallpox, HIV. He controls all these viruses. So in our tradition, what we do, we divine, which means we go to the spirit world and we ask the spirit world, how can we move forward? Because everyone has a destiny. I have a destiny, Marvin has a destiny, you have a destiny. The thing is, what makes people sick most of the times is they are violating the tenets of their destiny. So if you never knew what your destiny was, how could you ever fulfill your destiny? How could you if you never knew? So many people, then we also come to the world with taboos. Mean things we're not supposed to do. One of my taboos is I'm not supposed to eat wheat. It's one of my taboos. You know what I have a hard time not eating?
Your taboo.
My taboo. Because it tastes good. But I know it causes me bodily harm because I can feel it whenever I eat it. So anyway, Obaluaye governs sickness. We divined and found out that Obaluaye is causing the sickness around the world. Why? Because human beings have become excessive. They are violating nature. They are violating themselves in the pursuit of money. So Obaluaye, being offended, said, you know what? Stop all this shit. We went to the spirit realm to get this information. So, can God or an aspect of the Creator create something in nature that's natural, because nature is natural, create something natural to stop man's movement? And that's not conspiracy.
Well, just about anything we use for good can be used for bad.
Anything.
I love fire. Fire can be good. It keeps you warm in the winter, but if you do the wrong thing with it, it'll burn your house down.
Burn your house down, burn you up.
Burn you up.
But you need fire for creation.
Yeah.
You know why you need fire for creation? Because my palm is cold, both palms are cold.
Rub them together.
Friction.
Yeah.
Friction creates heat.
Mm-hmm.
Friction also is the purpose how you create anything. You need polar opposites to come together to create fire, friction, to create. How do you think you got here? Your mother and your father. Friction, fire. We are in total violation of nature. Nature is spiritual. The earth is a living entity. We just robbing, taking, and ain't giving shit back. And this is why we getting to this point. We not giving nothing back to the earth. And it provides everything. We talked about this a few episodes ago. Y'all growing up, go pick a pear tree. Yeah. Go pick an apple. Go pick some cherries.
Cherries off the tree, yeah.
Did the earth charge you for that shit?
No.
Not one penny.
But now you got to go pay for something.
Now you got to go pay. I went and bought some grapes today, man. Them damn grapes as big as my fucking head, Joe. When grapes was this size, when I was a short.
But it's crazy even when you say that to people. I think I mentioned this one, I don't know if it was the last episode or 2 episodes ago, where I don't believe in even seedless fruit. Because everything that comes from the ground got seeds in it.
Got seeds in it.
But we've been so, I got seedless, we so goddamn lazy. You don't even want to spit the seeds out your watermelon,
Nick. So, I know I went on a tirade today, and I'm not ashamed of it. God damn it, I need to be like this more often. Shit. But in all actuality, people, I just want us to get better. The only way to get better is to become more active. You got to be more proactive in what you're doing. Stop allowing someone to tell you about your connection to the Creator. The Creator is everything. It's not nothing. It can't be. People, somebody was telling me, oh, you're going to go to hell. I said, well, according to your belief, isn't God omnipresent? They were like, yeah. I'm like, well, God is in hell too then. I can't escape God. I can't.
The sad part about what you just said is another human being told him he was going to hell. We know for that.
Known for that.
How about y'all do this? The next time you're praying, you're talking to the Creator, regardless of what you call him. How about you ask God to show you what your gift is? Because we all have a gift, which is another reason why I have a problem with what I go back to what I started off saying, how we were educated. We were educated to not know. For example, you're taught all these things that are phenomenal on paper, but then when you go inside to try to apply it, how do we all continue to be lost? Again, everything has an answer. We're all born with the gift. I was raised with a father who fixed up our whole basement from scratch. He called the professionals to come out to fix up our basement. At the time, the basement wasn't fixed up. The guy came and gave him a price that didn't make sense to him. And my father said, I'll do it by myself, but I witnessed the white guy laugh at him. And in 1 year, my father took 1 year, every day he'd come home and do a little bit every day with the help of myself and my brothers. And a year later, our basement was fixed. This was 40 years ago, the basement still fixed up. And by the way, my father didn't go to school to learn how to fix on how it worked. He was just naturally talented. And I'm bringing this up because we all have these hidden gifts that are not dug out of us because we're taught a system that works against us. So we find ourselves at the age of 40, 50, and 60 still asking for some shit that you should have learned by the time you was probably 12 to 14. You should have mastered yourself. Nobody's a master of self, but you're a master of algebra, goddammit. Y'all ask God to show you, to reveal your gift, so you can shine your gift on the planet, which is what you were put here to do.
Because that's the major reason why we see so much depression. People are not being who they were made to be. We stay in survival mode. I'm gonna say this, and this ain't no racism. This just explaining to y'all how things work. You want to know how white people got in charge? You want to know? I'm gonna tell you. white people think bigger. They act bigger. They follow through with their word. When they say they're gonna do some shit, I'm talking about those who are in control. When they say they're gonna do some shit, they do that shit. Black people and other minorities who are not acting like that, you think smaller, you stay in survival mode, you take no action, you have fear of failure, you got low self-esteem. All you gotta do is turn that shit around. Just turn it around. You already got the power. The power is yours. I told y'all a few episodes ago, my acronym for power is personal ownership of wealth, energy, and resources. The thing you ain't doing, you got this personal, it's yours. You got the wealth, if you activate it. You got the damn energy, you just don't use it. You got the resources, you refuse to use that. The thing you ain't fucking doing is owning it. If you own the shit, the fucking world will bow down to you. Damn, the battery just died. Damn.
We back at it. We ain't going nowhere.
Shit, we ain't went nowhere. Shit, think this shit is over with? Hell no, it ain't over with. The battery just died. I had to change the damn battery.
I wanna get you some sunflower seeds.
But I forgot where I left off at. But all I'm saying is, people, turn that shit around, man. Own your power. It's time to own. Stop giving everybody else your shit and then you over here looking all depleted and everything. Man, take your fucking power back.
And let me say this too, man. Another reason why we're so straight and direct with the conversation today, because oftentimes we always known to water some shit down. Well, don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. I think that's another reason why we don't know how to move on the planet, because we always saying shit the way that shit shouldn't be said. Say it the way it needs to be said. Look, man, there may be some good pastors out there.
It is. There's definitely some good pastors out there. I ain't talking about. I'm not talking about them.
Yeah, but you cannot deny, and you can self-check if you want to be honest. Because I do it all the time with myself.
Facts.
I know that some of the ways I was taught about that Bible, when I started to think about it and trying to apply it, I was like, well, it don't make sense though. So when I became of age where I can think logically, and I started doing my own math, the answer never came out correct. So I started to pose questions like, wait a minute, man, according to this, I didn't get the same understanding that I was taught, now that I'm older to get a better understanding. So now I'm starting to pull away because I think I'm being played a little bit. And I say that because, go back to my original comment when we first started, I understand that I'm not being taught the proper way, because every time I try to get an answer, there's no answer. You mean to tell me that if you add 2 and 2, there's only one answer for that? There's not a wrong answer for that unless you really just doing something. Unless you're just unaware. 2 and 2 is always going to be the same answer forever.
Always.
So now you start talking about the spiritual side of who we are. There's a spiritual connection, a spiritual side to us. How is it that every time we go there, the answer is always the wrong answer? What is it about the way we're being taught, whereas when you go inside yourself, which is the God side, your answer don't add out?
It's because we don't trust it. We don't trust. We can believe in God, but when it's time to manifest that part of us, we get scared.
And my problem too, if you all been following us since the very first or second show, we always talk about being alpha males.
Yep.
I know when what you're saying to me makes sense because it connects to my insides. But when I hear some stuff that don't make sense, it's hard for me to follow shit that don't make sense. So instead of being insulting, I don't like insulting and conflict. No. I will remove myself from some stuff that don't make sense, which is what I did, which is going to church, listen to most pastors. Because as soon as I start hearing it, for whatever reason, I could replay it in my head like, why did he just say that? That don't even make sense. But I say it to myself because I'm not trying to start no uproar in the church. But some of us, again, self-check yourself and ask yourself, when I read this part, how do you apply what you're reading to yourself to get the answer that you're looking for?
Yep.
As opposed to, I got to go back to pastor so he can pray for me again. You ain't got no connection with the Creator. It ain't even about the pastor. It's about the relationship between you and the Creator. Why do you keep injecting the pastor?
Because they've been taught that he is the closest thing to God, and he ain't, and she ain't. You the closest thing to that. You the closest thing, because it's in you. How do you think you wake up in the morning? That ain't you, per se. That's that energy that pervades in every single thing. You can't say, and this kills me when people try to, well, that ain't God.
I'm your God expert.
You know more about God than you know about yourself, and you with you 24 fucking 7. I can't listen to somebody who don't try to activate that part of themselves. I'm not going to listen to you. The creator resides in every fucking thing. This, the water, the bottle, the label, the cap, the table, everything. From the most biggest thing we could visually look at, which is probably a fucking mountain, to the most infinitesimal thing you can't barely even see. That's all. Those are stages of it expressing itself to some shit we can't even fathom because we only on fucking Earth. You know how much other shit is out there that we can't even imagine what it is.
And there's a reason why, and to justify what he's saying, there's a reason why we go in space. Because they know something else is out there.
Absolutely.
You're not going out there because nothing's there. They're trying to go, something else going on out there.
Something is happening all the time. To think that we the only ones would be some arrogant ass shit.
And we are arrogant.
And we are arrogant than a motherfucker.
And unaware, and undereducated, and uneducated. Anything with an goddamn it.
With the that's us. I was telling this one Christian lady, she decided to have a conversation with me. And I was really trying not to have this conversation with her, but she just kept pressing it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go there with you. So she was talking about how God loves us and everything like that. I was like, okay. I said, have you ever been in an airplane? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you ever look down and see how small things are from an aerial point of view? She was like, yeah. I'm like, now God is in heaven according to your beliefs, right? She's like, yeah. Can you imagine how fucking small and infinitesimal we are? But we think we mean so much.
In the big scheme.
In the big scheme.
Yeah.
We think we mean so much. Man, we ain't nothing but dust.
And that's amazing to say because, you know, you thinking about it from that perspective, you looking at the earth, for all of you who have been traveling in the airplane, most planes fly at 35,000 feet. Maybe a little lower, between 25 and 35,000 feet. So it's not like you 150,000 feet up. You just a little bit up in the air. The shit looks small in my. You know what's that down there?
Right, what's that down there? You see the little cars look like little toys that you can roll around the
floor. But then when you land, it's the big old SUV.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to belittle God. What I am is trying to show how big it actually is. So when somebody say God was talking to me. Now, I'm not going to say you can't have inspiration. Because that's the God self in spirit. The spirit inside of you can talk to you. But if you telling me you hearing some goddamn voice on the outside of you and you the only person in the room, nah, Joe, I ain't going with that shit, Joe. I'm not going with that shit.
I would love to know what y'all feel about what you just said. Because I know everybody does not agree with that.
You ain't gotta agree with me. You don't. I don't want you to agree with me. I want the smoke. I want all the smoke on this one. Please leave a comment. I want smoke. I'm gonna come with it just like you come with it, nigga. I'm playing a lot, but I am serious about some of the stuff I'm saying. I do believe that we can hear our voice where it inspires us. Because again, inspiration means the inner spirit. But if you telling me that a formless figure that I can't see is just talking to me from the corner of the room, man, I'm the fuck up out of there, Joe. Because I'm like, what the fuck is that? Because you don't have vocal cords unless you're the fucking invisible man. You don't have vocal cords. You don't have a physical body. You don't have none of the shit it takes to actually verbalize in the physical form. And I'm hearing a voice? No, I'm not going with that shit. I keep things on the surface, people, because I don't like believing in the mystical. Because if it gets mystical, then it starts getting into all that ethereal and shit you can't really explain. God is very practical. Very practical. You can see God in everything. If you can't see it, that's on you. But I see it. And I see it in me.
But I think part of the reason why you see it is because you choose to believe it and make a conscious attempt to see it. Most people,
And manifest it.
Yeah. But most people are told, or they need to be told what to look for.
Right.
Oh, look over there.
Right.
And again, we're not trying to be funny. We're being a little comical, but at the same time, we're trying to be serious. Again, most people have been rocked to sleep on how you use your own God-given ability to learn and comprehend stuff. You leave it up to somebody else to decide or decipher what it is that you're looking at.
Right.
And again, it's crazy because I definitely see talent in a lot of people.
Hell yeah.
I see most people just bury their gifts and talents. And you can see the depression and the uncertainty when you're talking to people because there's something about, I don't know what it is. You know how many times I've heard that in my life? I don't know, man. What is it that you don't know? You don't even know so much that you don't even know what you don't know. I don't know. What it feel like, man, I don't know. What's the day, dog?
I don't know, nigga.
Come on, man.
People, man, we having this conversation with y'all because we really just want to open up, and this is one of the best conversations to have to get people open, But also for some real deal shit, man, we seeing a lot of depression because the God in us is asleep. Your gifts are a manifestation of God for you. But see, the thing is, we get selfish with the shit, thinking that our gifts are ours when our gifts are ours to give to everybody else. And that's why you find fucking depression, because you don't know how to share your gift, because you still got the fucking lid on top of the gift wrapping. You ain't never pushed the boy open.
Yeah. Everybody's selfish until they need it.
Man, what?
Yeah. Hey, can you help me? I gotta go to the doctor. You need a loan. You need a raise.
Yep.
That's when you open yourself up. But when you got it, most of us, Yeah. And I truly think that everybody have a gift, and we all know, for example, any amount of money, my favorite color is not his favorite color.
No.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Another problem we have as human beings, everybody think that their way of thinking is the way of thinking.
Yeah.
But you don't eat cornflakes like that. No, eat cornflakes.
Cornflakes,
right.
Man. Too much sugar in that shit.
If you do, that's cool. But again, we don't know how to share thoughts. I can respect, I like that. And then you give your opinion and your perspective and make people, okay, I get it. We don't know how to get and enjoy and share everybody else's gift and perspective because we're taught to be selfish. We live in a society where, hey, I got mine, you better
get yours. And that contributes to why we see a lot of suffering. People don't share. When you don't share, man, you surviving, man. I talked about this when I went to Egypt. The community came together to eat. It wasn't on some, I got mine, I ain't giving shit to y'all. No, we have to share because we have to, if we're going to survive, we're going to survive together. If we all in survival mode, we're going to survive together. No one is going to fall to the wayside. We going to get it together. If you look at any business, it's not one person doing everything. It is a consortium of human beings doing different things that's associated to their gifts or what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, your specialized talent. Yeah. Because the CEO ain't on it, Doc, shipping out your package. But if you don't receive a package, the CEO won't be the CEO. It takes every little new
facts.
Right, from A to Z. I mean, it may be the janitor, but without him keeping the building clean, people get sick. See how important his role is?
Man, everything interconnects. But see, this is why we fucked up in our thinking when it comes to God, because we think God is this isolated figure sitting in the sky, sitting on the throne, being lazy and shit. That's what we think. God is sitting on the throne. Somebody said. So I asked this one person, they was telling me about, I'm not going to heaven. So I said, okay. I'm like, you going to heaven? She was like, yeah, I'm going to heaven. I'm like, is God in heaven? She's like, yeah. I said, so heaven must be bigger than God. She said, what you mean? I'm like, we're in this building right now, right? She said, yeah. I'm like, so in order for us to fit in this building, the building must be bigger than us. So you gonna tell me that heaven is bigger than God? But God is everything? God is everywhere? Like, that don't make fucking sense to me, man. This is simple physics. It's gotta apply in that realm too. Cause we got angels and shit flying around. Come on, man. They killing us with stories that we have made literal. The story, I've studied every religion. Let me go here. I studied damn near every religion out here. And I'm gonna tell y'all one consistency. Every story is the same. It just got different characters. Every story is the same. It just has different characters according to the culture that the people live under. But every story is the same. It's always a story of trial, tribulation, and triumph. Trial, tribulation, triumph. Cause, effect. Trial, tribulation, triumph. Every story. So I'm not trying to bullshit y'all. I've been at this since I was 13. I'm 45. I've been studying since I was 13.
But even you letting it be known how long you've been studying, it's still somebody, because of their understanding of the Bible, will still erase everything you just said because of their way of thinking, as opposed to us being respectful, like, okay, I get you, buddy, you did your study, so that's your answer after your study. And even if you got a different answer after your study, here's how you equal all this out. When you apply it. What's the answer? Everything has an answer. And especially when you start talking about dealing with God, you know what I'm saying? Come on, God can't give an answer, but you keep it the way you was taught it. Every time you go and call on the Creator, there's no answer. I mean, there's something that's not being taught right.
Absolutely.
I mean, just like you said, go back to just simple thinking. If you every time you go to bake a cake and you put all the ingredients in the pan and you put the ingredients in the oven but don't turn the oven on, what's going to be the answer?
What you just put in the pan.
It's just going to sit there. Everything has an answer. Because you failed to do one thing, you didn't get the answer that you were looking for. There's something about the way we're being taught the Bible. Maybe it's just one thing that we haven't been taught, or we've been taught in the incorrect way, whereas the answer we're looking for is just like that uncooked cake that I just gave the example to. Something's missing.
Something missing.
How about you just go to the Creator yourself, which is what I've done a long time ago. Listen, how do we do this? Because there's something that's happening down here that doesn't add up. I don't want to keep not getting the answer when you put me here to give answers. I like to share my gift.
Me too.
Part of my gift is to help others.
That's why we're doing this podcast, y'all.
I'm not a selfish dude. I'm not a confrontational guy. I just know when stuff don't feel right in my spirit, I'm gonna respectfully distance myself away from you, because I'm not looking for the head button in the controversy. I ain't got time for that.
Really, and be honest with y'all, I don't do that in person. This is the podcast, me and him.
Yeah, so he doesn't.
I don't do that in person. I don't. If you on your thing, that's your thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
The only time I come out the box is when you start attacking me. Thinking that I'm supposed to think your way. When it's plenty of room for all these thoughts out here. It's plenty of room for it. I'm not emotional about what somebody else believes in. I'm concerned too much about my shit. But I'm in total agreement with Marv over here, because what he just said was true. Man, just come out, be you. The problem is we trying to fit in and be like other people. That's the problem. You're not being you. You're not your authentic self. That's why the God in you is asleep. And that's when you hear something that awakens it, you think, oh, God talking to me. Yes, God is getting your attention, but it don't have to come through a preacher all the time. It could come through what we saying right now. It could come from somebody else. It could come from a homeless person. These are all aspects of how the Creator manifests itself.
And it's amazing you said that, because I was just about to add one thing about me. When I've been growing up, I had two wonderful teachers on this planet, which is my mother and father. But I was also wise enough.
Beautiful parents.
Yeah, my parents. For those of y'all who know my parents, phenomenal people. But I was also mindful enough to learn from my three older brothers, my older and my younger sister, because you can learn from every angle. All of my friends, some of the famous people I saw on television, I would take bits and pieces to help create who I am. I'm not going to imitate you. Certain things you learn from somebody, just like when you go to school and teacher teaches you something, you learn something from her and you apply it to make you who you are.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing when you're operating with your crew around you. You learn from everybody to help you be the strong individual that you were put here to be. But what I don't approve of is what you were just saying. I'm not gonna come out here. I'm gonna imitate. This is how you walk. You're not here for that. Not a damn robot.
Right.
So, but you can use certain strong things. My man's stronger in this area. Learn from him because I want to be strong in that area as well.
Exactly.
Then let me give you this part of my gift.
Right.
Again, this is the give and take, which is what he was talking about in the beginning. But we don't know how to do that because everything that somebody else got to give you an answer.
Yeah.
Part of the answer is learn from who's around you and ask God to show you. So then when you start dealing with the pastor, maybe you can help correct something that the pastor said that was incorrect.
But see, now, if you try to correct the pastor, you can't do it in public forum. You got to pull the pastor to the side.
Because you're getting put out the church, nigga.
Hell yeah, now you a heretic.
Yeah.
They gonna fucking stone your ass after a while.
And you know what? Even if you're right and you show the pastor, the congregation will put that nigga out of here.
Fuck that nigga. Yeah. But all I'm saying is, people, that we suffer a whole, and this is even the scripture in the Bible said, my people suffer from a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
We ain't seeking knowledge that we can apply. Shit, most of y'all motherfuckers ain't seeking knowledge, period. I'm playing.
And listen, and on that note, if you're seeking knowledge and you know where you've been getting your information from and it's not turning out to be knowledge, how about you get your information from somewhere else?
Bingo.
If that's your pastor, your Bible study teacher, or whomever, wherever you're getting it from and it's not giving you the answer, y'all just go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. One person don't have the answer, man.
Not all
One person can't. It's impossible. Somebody asked me another question one day about, do I believe that the Bible is all right and exact? And I said, look here, man, I'm not about to engage in this with you. Let me say this clearly. If God has a beginning and end, that ain't God to me.
Talking about that book.
That book. That cannot be God. It can't. I'm here. That book, the last book in the last verse was Revelations, right? I forget what chapter, I forget what verse. But I'm here right now. So you gonna tell me that's God? And so everything didn't stop at that moment? Nah, man, look, the Creator is forever prevailing. God, the Creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is forever prevailing. It's going to be here. When we die, you go back to where you came from. That same essence that created you. The light's gonna go out in this body, because this thing is limited.
It's coming.
The light's gonna go out. However, it's what you do when the lights is on. Did you manifest the God in you outside of you? Did you manifest your destiny? Did you manifest your abilities and your talents and your gifts to the point where you were able to make the world better because you was here? And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it took me a long time to accept mine. It took me a long time because I was so scared of what other people might say about what I do. I'm at the point now where I don't give one ONEFUCK about nobody's opinion no more. Because at the end of the day, I gotta be okay with me. I gotta be able to look in the mirror and say, you fucking up. I gotta go to sleep and say, you fucking up. And that's some hard shit to wake up to every day.
But I was about to add one thing about you. I could say on behalf of Tez is, he don't live a lie. Some people do that and know that you living a lie. You can't be living a lie. And we all go on that journey of being concerned about I wonder what people gonna think. And then you start doing the math like, man, these people ain't paying my bills. When it comes to you taking care of your health, whose health is that? That's your health.
Your health.
So somewhere in the line, you gotta start trusting your own decision-making skills and understanding what's helping you make the proper decisions while you're walking on this planet. again, y'all, we got to do some different stuff. We really do.
We got to change the dynamics. We definitely got to change the dynamics because what we're seeing right now doesn't fucking work. It don't work. And then I'm gonna go back to the word enthusiasm. Enthusiasm means to basically awaken the God within. If that means God is asleep, wake up, nigga. Wake the fuck up.
Or give you a different way of saying that. He just sitting there waiting for you to come and call him. Hey, it's like when you go by one of your partner's house, you ready to go? Oh, right. You ready now?
You ready now?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's roll.
Yeah. He's just sitting here waiting for you. He already dressed. He waiting for you to get. We going to the club? Okay, let's go.
That's the perfect analogy. He already dressed.
Waiting for you to get it.
Waiting on you. But because you looking at the outside fucking world, concerned about them, and they ain't even thinking about you because they got their own fucking problems that they concerned with. You're like, oh, what they gonna say about me?
And he's sitting there like, come on, man, let's go.
Let's
and
roll.
Looking out the window, what they gonna say? He's like, man, come on, I'm getting sick of you guys.
Let me go somewhere else.
And give you this one when he's just talking about the waking them up. Can you imagine this? God waiting, come on, let's go. You keep talking about what they gonna say. Well, man, wake me up when you ready.
When you ready.
That's why he talked about the waking God up inside of yourself. Maybe he didn't want to sleep in you because you ain't ready to go yet.
And the reason why that part of us is asleep, the God is asleep in us, because we doing the wrong shit.
Because you getting the wrong answers.
You keep doing the wrong shit, that part of you stays asleep. Because it don't wake you up, it don't make you feel like I need to wake up and do this shit.
Yeah, but it becomes who you are, but you also just walk around the planet, and we was just laughing about it with that, I don't know. I don't even know, man. It's hard for me to explain. Again, you're not here to not have an answer.
Exactly.
I didn't heard people say that, man, something wrong. What's wrong, dog? Man, I don't know, dog. I need to go see somebody. But can you describe it? It's hard for me to describe.
I've been there before. Been there many times. When I was taking my religious journey, I would go in and be out like in a couple of years. I'm like, man, after doing that a few times, I'm like, man, what's wrong with me? How come I can't stay in one thing? Why am I always bouncing out? And it's because my journey is mine. I'm not supposed to stick with a lot of shit. I'm not. I'm supposed to come in, learn it, and be like, oh, okay, all right, I'm out. I got it. Some people stay in even though they got it and can't get no more out of it. Now they feel compelled because, again, well, I don't want nobody asking me why I'm leaving and why I'm doing this and X, Y, Z. Man, until we grow some fucking balls and stop giving a fuck about other people's opinion, because people gonna have them. As long as human beings come with brains, vocal cords, a mouth, tongue, and teeth, and working vocal cord, they gonna express their opinion. But it don't mean it's true. And even if it is true, you need to listen to it when it is true, if it's gonna help you. Everything we saying, man, is to help y'all. This is the longest video we ain't ever did. And this is really the most enthusiastic one too.
Because we talking about something that really matters. You talking about the spiritual connections and everything. And what's happening on the planet today, y'all. Again, do yourself a favor. If somebody have a better answer than you, how about you just do this? Set your pride down. Like, hey man, what got you to be that confident where you can stand on what you're saying? Because a lot of what you say makes sense to me. How did you get that way? And start there. Because if you don't have the answer, it is not a nice world to be walking on the planet and to not have self-confidence. Some of us, some of you aren't alpha people. It's okay.
It's okay.
But recognize when you're dealing with an alpha person, be like, hey man, go back to school. Like, hey man, can you show me how you got there? Well, sure, I show you. So it's easy for some of us. It's not easy for everybody. I get that. But when you know you're dealing with somebody that's better, let me give you a visible answer. If you were shooting basketball and you saw Jordan, what you gonna think? You're gonna be like, hey man, can you show me that more? Because he's the superpower. He's the alpha dog. And it's the same way when you're dealing with people on the planet. Recognize who you talk to sometime, and if they sound like they're a little bit more connected than you, humble yourself and be like, hey man, can you share some of that information with me so you can get down and you can become an alpha person, male or female as well.
But you know a reason why most people refuse to step into that part of themselves? Because they don't want to experience pain.
Oh, it's gonna take you on the ride.
You don't want to go through shit. See, I done been homeless. I've starved. I've lived in basements, couches, broke. I've been through some painful shit. And this is what it developed.
I'm glad you said that.
This is what it
I'm glad
developed.
you said that.
Because people want to be wealthy. Man, the riches is just how you measure who you had to become. Because it's about becoming. It's about unfolding. It ain't about staying the seed all your life. It's about being what's in the fucking seed.
It's that journey.
It's about being what's in the fucking seed.
That journey,
not
yeah.
staying the seed. The seed ain't shit. You gotta become what's in the seed. That's where your potential is at. That's where you're limitless at. I can do this all fucking day. All day. Because I practice. I'm about to journey into some shit. I can't put it on camera. What I'm about to do. I'm about to journey into some shit that's scaring the fuck out of me right now. Because I ain't never made a move on this magnitude before. But do you think I'm scared? To the point where I'm petrified to not move on it? Fuck no. I'm going. I don't care how many times I fail. I don't care. The shit gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen. As long as I'm breathing and I'm healthy, the shit gonna happen. But I'm scared as fuck though. I can't lie to y'all. I'll tell you I'm not. When I told him, I was scared when I told him. I'm like, man, I don't know, Joe. I ain't never did no shit like this before.
And you get some of those overly critical people that's listening, like he said he wasn't scared, but then he just said he was scared. But did you hear him say he still gonna move on it?
Still gonna move.
Of course, you're still a human being, so you still have this thing called a system. You have a nervous. You get nervous sometimes.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm an athlete. I remember playing in championship games nervous, but I gotta perform. In the back of my mind, there's this alpha side of me like, hey, I don't care. I didn't come out here to not win.
Right.
That's when when you're able to overcome that nervousness.
See what you just said? You didn't come out here to not win.
Yeah.
Man, people are living their life playing to not win.
Yeah. Yeah.
They playing to not lose. You ain't playing to win. You gotta go out and, man, if you not only offensive with life is fucking you up. Life is gonna fuck you up if you ain't playing on offense. If life keep you on defense, it's always gonna keep pushing you back and pushing you back and pushing you back because it's gonna establish its will over you. But if you don't fucking fight and say, nah, man, you're gonna kick my ass so long before I figure out what you're doing to me. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Am I scared? Yes. But I'm not scared enough to stop. And I wanna put this into your mind. Don't be scared enough to stop. Don't. All we gotta do is take action, man. You gotta have some. We gotta get obsessed about whatever it is that we want to do. I wish I could tell y'all what I want to do, but I don't want to hear your comments. I don't want to see them shit.
What ain't time for that?
It ain't time. You can't pull that shit off. Who gonna do that shit for you?
Yeah.
Who gonna help you, nigga?
Man, you gotta do shit.
God ain't gonna help you, nigga. That's
God. Yeah.
God ain't gonna help you, nigga. You talking shit about God. Nah.
And y'all bringing this full circle, tying the spiritual side back into this stuff that's happening on the planet now, man. You got to ask for some more clarity because there's some things that's happening that nobody has to understand, so they say.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an answer, but they ain't sharing it with us.
Yeah.
So to protect yourself, for all you spiritual believers, how about you go in and really ask for an answer and some clarity so you can protect yourself and your loved ones and other ones that you don't know and don't love.
Absolutely.
Because there's some stuff that's happening that nobody knows. Again, you always heard of something happening on one side of the world and you were able to escape it by going over here. This is all over the planet. Mm-hmm. So everybody's in the same boat. At least the regular, everyday people.
Right.
Unless you're part of that underworld that we done heard about, but we don't know the faces of these people.
Right. And let me say this first to clarify. I don't want to see y'all comments. It ain't the fact I don't want to see your comments, because I probably wouldn't read them anyway. It's just the fact that I don't want to put something out there right now until I get the ball rolling.
Get it going first. And then we'll revisit that at a later date.
And then I'll probably come back with an update, let y'all know how I'm doing and XYZ, because I don't mind sharing what I'm doing. Like, if y'all don't know, I'm on the coaching side of the game with I hate saying personal development because anyway, I'm a public speaker. I'm writing my first book. I'm about to start doing like small business consulting because especially in this time because a lot of businesses need to know what they need to do because they under the microscope and then the fucking world is caving in on them right now. So, but when you making moves, you can only share what you're doing with certain people.
Yeah.
You can't share it with everybody because you need as much positive reinforcement as possible when you're making moves because you already have that negative thought in the back of your mind saying, we ain't never did this shit. How you gonna do this? And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's never in the how. It's always in the why. It's never, you don't have to know how. Other people know how. All you gotta go and do is meet them other people who know how. But you gotta make yourself available. You gotta pull your ego down and pull your confidence up.
That's right, yeah.
You gotta pull the confidence up.
Yeah.
Cause your ego will be like, man, he ain't talking that much. He think he better than me. I ain't saying shit to that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then that person ain't even on that shit.
Yeah.
They out here wanting to help people. Shit, and they ain't got nobody to help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not knowing what you need.
Not knowing what you need.
Yeah.
So have an ego when it's time to have an ego. But man, we gotta be in a position of humility when you about to journey out and learn some new shit.
Yeah.
And that's spiritual too. Humility is spiritual. Because humility acts on two poles. The same humility it takes to learn is the same humility it takes to teach. But you got to be a learner. You got to be a student before you can ever become a teacher. So that means you got to open yourself up and learn from people who know more than you. That's spiritual.
Yeah.
The preacher is the teacher, right? Everyone in the congregation sits down and the preacher sits up high, right?
Yeah.
Because he learned the techniques to sit high to teach the masses below him.
Yeah.
Someone who's going to come up and be like, Pastor, I feel that pull on me that God is talking to me and I should be doing what you're doing. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to cuff him. He's going to teach him. Or she's going to teach him. I don't want to leave women out, make y'all think y'all not part of this.
Y'all on the squad.
Yeah.
Y'all on the squad, yeah.
So this whole conversation, outside of the stuff we was talking about, that was, I really had to get that shit out of my mouth anyway. But this is all about, see, having good character is spiritual. So what do I mean by that? When you're accountable, when you're responsible, you have integrity. You know how to have humility in your life. Those things are spiritual. Because at that point, it's all about my actions, and my actions created these scenarios. So the best way for me to do is to take an assessment of my actions, and if I help somebody, they're going to thank me. But if I offend somebody, I need to go and apologize. Now, some people don't need apologies. Some people just got to just flip birds too. You just got to, because they're not helping your progress.
And get away from
and get away from.
Yeah.
But in those people who are not doing that, you have to give them room to be themselves too, because they're not here to be you. They're here to be themselves. So you have to give room for them to be them. So that's part of that's part of how we interact spiritually. Like, put your ego down sometimes. Just put your ego down, but lift your confidence up. Lift your self-esteem up. The world needs more self-esteem, especially what's going on right now. We need more self-esteem.
And for those of y'all who's sitting out there asking yourself or responding to what he just said, or how do you lift your spirits and everything else up, your confidence up, again, start tapping into people who do it better than you.
Yep.
That's gave you the example with the Michael Jordan. If you're sitting around Michael Jordan, you're gonna sit and listen so you can learn. So I learn how to operate when I'm on that court. Same thing when you operate on the planet. Who's doing it a little bit better than you? And it may just be in one or two different lanes, but you add that to your package and make your package grow. So when it gets to the point where you're ready to share what you've learned, you have something to offer to people because somebody offers something to you as well. And
that's the whole purpose of being a human being.
Yeah.
You're supposed to pass down what you learn to every generation, so they can eliminate going through all the bullshit you went through And then they gonna go through their own bullshit. So now they know, oh, my shit, now I can add my story on top of this to help people to avoid. But this is my message to black people. We gotta stop being the only people on planet Earth who start over every generation. Shout out to my man Mustafa for telling me that. That was some cold-blooded shit when he said that to me. We the only people who start over every generation.
Yeah, but again, it's true, Larry. To go back to the original part of what we're talking about, it's something about how we're being taught. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, why isn't it sticking with the next generation? Or what is it that we're sharing that every time we apply it doesn't work?
It don't work.
Again, some of these answers don't fit. It's like going to the store getting the wrong size shoe. It's gonna hurt you after a while, goddammit.
Shit hurt when you first put the damn
But
shoe
you know
on.
some was just because you want to look nice, you walking sideways, your feet hurting. Why your feet
like
bone
this.
up? Now you gotta go see your foot doctor because your toes. Come on, man. But yeah, y'all. I think the good in what we're talking about, y'all. What we're saying is fixable. We just gotta kind of look into a different lane because some of the stuff that we've been taught, some of the things that we're doing, it's not working.
It's not working.
It's not working.
And it would behoove us to say this shit don't work. I mean, we gotta do something different.
Yeah.
But who asking that question?
But nobody. I was just about to say, getting into the political side of it, y'all. You know, every 4 years you hear the same bullshit, and it's like, okay, these motherfuckers only come around every 4 years, and then once the 4 years is up, why they keep forgetting to add us to the squad? I thought they was gonna give us. Again, I've been voting for quite a while now, and ain't shit changed. I'm being honest, to the point where I'm more turned off on voting than anything, and I shouldn't feel that way. But again, when you know that you kind of being played in the game, you keep looking over everybody else that's progressing except you and your side. Like, hey man, y'all don't see what I see. Y'all don't go outside your doors. You see what the hell ain't there. But then when you go in every other, and I'll give you this one. I am 1200 West Madison, Chicago, Illinois. For those of you who don't know about Chicago, or for those of you who know about Chicago, back up about 15 years ago, definitely 20 years ago, drive down Madison Street. Look like a bomb hit it.
Yeah.
Go over there now. And this not making it racial, but again, when I just said it seems like everybody's getting what they need. I used to be around there because I had family that grew up in that area. I could definitely tell you 30 years ago, it looked like, man, hey, you don't want to be in that area. So what is
Racine in Madison?
even Ashland and Madison?
That's even worse.
I'll make it even closer to you. Go between Racine and Halsted and look how phenomenal it looks. What is it about the same area that's beautiful now that it couldn't have been beautiful 30 years ago? It's called neglect. There's something about this system that the answers aren't right. Every time they apply stuff, our answers are always the incorrect answers. Even down to what we said about this spiritual stuff.
Let me say this too real quick. You know why black neighborhoods don't get fixed up? It's because churches.
What do you mean by that?
Churches don't pay taxes. If churches don't pay taxes, that means they're robbing the neighborhood of what's called TIF dollars. TIF dollars are tax incremental funding. This is what the city uses to come and rebuild areas. We got so many churches that don't pay taxes, so there's no tax dollars to fix the neighborhood. So now, when next time you go to your church, ask yourself, am I robbing my neighborhood by funding this church? That's on some for real deal. I'm not playing no BS. That's for real. Churches rob black neighborhoods of looking and beautifying themselves because there's no tax dollars. As long as there's no tax dollars, there's hardly no funding for the neighborhood. That's the truth.
And another thing with the church side of it, I never could understand for the life of me how come the churches don't unite. And we're gonna pool all of our resources and our ties so we can build up our communities and our congregation. I have a problem again with the pastor pulling up in a brand new Mercedes, but Miss Johnson got to take the Uber to church. I thought we was paying, and we was all putting in the pot of the church because we all on the same team. And if pastor ain't got to drive in a nice Mercedes, put him in a nice Buick. So Miss Johnson cannot take the Uber. She could drive herself to church as opposed to you got to wait for the church bus to drop you back off at home. Again, I don't have a problem with paying tithes, but we got to do better with the tithes. What else are we doing? Are we gonna start some businesses?
Shit, that's what we need.
Who got the best? Some of these churches got 10, 15,000 members. Who got the best 5 ideas in the church? And we're gonna divide up the 5 ideas as 20,000 members. We only gonna use 500 of y'all to get these 5 ideas off the ground. Now we got 5 different businesses and we can grow from there. We own them, and we can grow from there. We don't do stuff like that.
You talking about what Elijah Muhammad did with the Nation of Islam?
But since you brought it up,
that's exactly what he did. That's what made the nation flourish during the time when Elijah Muhammad was alive. Because now we know Malcolm was the spokesperson, so he was the person that drew the people in.
yeah, he had the charisma. Yeah.
He drew the people in. Elijah Muhammad put the people to work.
Yeah.
So they started businesses, and this is how the nation grew. They just hit. They grew tremendously, business financially as well.
Yeah.
So how come the church ain't doing that?
But let's go back to what I'm saying about you all. You can self-check. You don't have to. I don't think this is what we're saying is insulting. But again, self-check was what we just said. How come the answers never make sense? And then you go look up and down the street by your church and stuff don't look the way it look when you see these glorified churches on television. I mean, what's going on? And not trying to be funny.
No, you would think with all that Jesus in the area, that the area wouldn't look like that. You would think that.
What is it about the story that's not being taught properly? There's a part of the story that's not being taught properly. That's powerful. What Tez just said to me, with all that Jesus in here and all this energy, why we keep getting the wrong answer? You mean to tell me they praying better over there than we praying over here? I thought we was all praying to the Christian part of it.
I'm gonna tell y'all, it's because it's bad information, miseducation. You ain't searching for the right information. Then when you search for it, you don't know how to apply it because you ain't going to get some mentorship, or you're afraid. That's why it always look the same. You go to damn near every black neighborhood, man, look the same.
Looks the same.
Looks the same. You see depression on people's face, and people look despondent, like, I don't know what to do, I'm just lost.
Now, do you know how long I've been saying that? I done been to New Orleans, Baltimore, these cities, man, it's like, this shit look like Chicago.
Just like Chicago.
In the black area.
In the black neighborhoods, yeah.
And it's ironic, when I go to their white areas, it look like the white areas in Chicago. Phenomenal, flourishing.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic?
But remember we talked about this, I think on the very first episode, you can tell what's going on in the neighborhood based on the conversation. If there's no no commerce, there's no stores, there's nothing like that going, then that's because the people ain't talking about it. Because if you're in that conversation, you're going to demand that stuff be in your neighborhood. But if you're not, if we're told we want to be cool or look cool before we have progress. Prior to, and this is no slap against Dr. Martin Luther King. But Dr. Martin Luther King to me was not a leader. He was a preacher. We were not ready for integration. We wasn't. Because look at what we was doing prior to integration. Black people in America in pockets were flourishing. Why? Because the dollar circulated in that same area. So that means you can invest more into that area to bring that area up. Even through redlining, even though banks wasn't giving loans to black people, even though black people still had to deal with the worst section or whatever, they still were able to build their own businesses in their own neighborhood. And those businesses would give back to make sure that the area got better. So Dr. King even said it himself, so don't think I'm lying. He said, I put my people into a burning house. He said that. Those are not my words, those are his. He recognized we were not ready for integration. We gave up what we had once we integrated. Once we integrated, we lost financial power, we lost economical power, we lost political power because we only voted for our own.
Mm.
Once that was gone, the dollar intermixed with everybody else's community, and those communities did not invest back into the black community.
And let me add this part to what he just said, which is just pinpoint accurate. Our system, which is our government, decided to start removing the men out the house. So on top
that's on top of it.
Yeah, on top of what he said, for those of you who are new, who are under 35, we used to have thriving neighborhoods. Again, everybody looked out for everybody.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I knew I gave a prior podcast we had, I gave a personal testimony to some people that I know it happened to, whereas the lady needed a little assistance because her job was whatever the job was. She needed some outside assistance. And she was told, in order for you to get the assistance, you got to move him out the house. By the way, he's the father of the kids. He's there helping with the kids, raising the kids. Ain't no turmoil and controversy in the house. But because she needed some outside assistance, food stamps for a few months, they told her he got to go. And then you come to find out it's happening this family, that family. Oh, this is the new thing in the black neighborhood. Then you come to find out it wasn't asking the white folk to remove the man from the house. So now set us back another generation, because now all of a sudden, these deadbeat dads. Well, somebody assisted you in being a deadbeat dad because we didn't start off that way. How did we become like that when that wasn't the plan?
Sure wasn't. I forget. They said that, I forgot the statistic, the exact number, but during that time, prior to men being kicked out the house, the black family, I think it was something like, maybe it's somewhere between 76 and 90% of the black households had a man in it. Today, I think it's something like 13%. That's sad, man. But that's spiritual too. That's definitely spiritual. We are in violation of so many laws.
Yeah.
And this is why it look like this.
Yeah.
We in violation. But we keep thinking that God is going to correct it when God gave us the energy to correct it. We want a miracle instead of doing the work ourselves.
Go back to the example of if we always in the house praying for water. Come on, God, we thirsty. Hey, man, before I come down there and give these niggas any water, and I know you know that faucet right there, ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen. We want miracles, man,
Yeah.
instead of producing.
Yeah.
We want some mystical shit.
Yeah.
And the mystical shit is only gonna happen when we get focused, we get committed, we be consistent, and we're disciplined in creating the miracle shit. You think that where you live at, that just sprung up on its own? It wasn't built? Like, you don't think some man built that house? You think it was a wand that said bing, and then the house just appeared?
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's not how this shit work, man.
Yeah.
And I know some people are like, oh, you're an atheist. You don't believe. I may not call it what you call it, but I understand that there's an energy out here. I just don't know the name of it. So I don't particularly like calling it God, again, because English is the latest language on planet Earth. But it's inside of me, and it commands me to move. Mm-hmm. It commands me to take action. It commands me to get better so I can manifest more of it. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing as required of y'all. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is this, and I know we got to, man, this has been the longest podcast we done did yet.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this to y'all. Man, discover who you are. That's spiritual. If you go to church, demand more of your preacher. Demand more from them. Because they should be doing more for the community other than just getting rich off y'all. Mm-hmm. And it's not all of y'all. I'm going to put that out. It's not all of them. But if your pastor needs a new airplane, new jet airplane, and you can't get in it, that's a problem.
Right.
It's a goddamn problem.
Yeah.
So, on that note, man, thank y'all for watching this episode 8 of Start Ugly. But please don't stay ugly. I'm your host, Tez.
Big Marv.
Big Marv. Man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. I want all the smoke. I want every last bit of the smoke. But nah, we love y'all, man. That's why we do this.
Yeah,
and we can't let the world be going on and what's going on and us not express ourselves about it. You know, we got to be the antithesis. We got to be the answer to some of these problems, and we got answers, and that's why we do this. So we thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all very much. We're gonna check y'all out on the next episode. Deuces.
Be cool, y'all.